Welcome. This video is a slideshow presentation from the Unicon series of informational slideshows. This presentation discusses the reasons that led Unicon to determine that using component conversion to convert mainframe legacy Cobol to Visual Cobol provides the best technical process, the most efficient process, and the least risk process to migrate Cobol applications off the mainframe platform to a Windows platform. And most importantly, it delivers a sound foundation to support the future enhancements of the migrated applications, whether the intent is to stay in Cobol or to use this as a risk-reducing interim step to stage and prepare to further migrate to C# or Java. For explanation of that last statement, please see our video called Incremental Reengineering on our YouTube channel called Platform Migration. The migration process can be automatically performed by using the Unicon automated converters, but this is not the subject of this presentation. There are several other Unicon videos on our YouTube channel called Platform Migration that explain the Unicon component conversion automated migration process. For over 35 years, Unicon has specialized exclusively in performing platform migration projects. We have extensive experience in all the migration options, including platform emulation, containerization, statement emulation, and component conversion. Platform emulation is an as-is Cobol to Cobol migration. Containerization and statement emulation are specifically for converting Cobol to run in a C# or Java environment. Component conversion converts legacy Cobol code to Cobol, C# or Java code. So let's review these four options. Platform emulation. Platform emulation is where a software layer is added to a Unix, Linux, or Windows platform to make it emulate the mainframe platform. This emulation software runs as a middleware layer on top of the new platform's operating system, sitting in between the application code and the operating system. The emulation layer makes the new platform look like the mainframe platform to the application code. In theory, the application code can be lifted as is from the mainframe platform and run on the emulation layer on the new platform, because the application code thinks it is running on the original mainframe platform. Well, it's never quite that simple, but that's the general idea. Unicon provided a platform emulation solution from 1985 to 1996, but we found that by their second or third year, the emulation customers were experiencing ever-increasing difficulties in enhancing and maintaining their converted applications. Staff retention and staff recruitment of qualified personnel with the old legacy skill sets became progressively harder to maintain. New recruits, in addition to learning the converted business applications, had to understand the old legacy skill sets, the working of the emulation layer, and the working of the operating system and utilities on the new platform environment. A very complex set of skills. System upgrades of all kinds became difficult to perform due to the need for the emulation layer to interface with the new upgrades. But most significantly, the emulation layer became a major inhibitor for the customer to enhance the migrated applications, to take advantage of the many new feature functions of the new platform. Containerization. Containerization is where the original Cobol program is compiled and encapsulated inside a C# or Java wrapper that is tasked with the job of handling the interface between the compiled Cobol program and the new environment. In general, there is a separate wrapper for each Cobol program. The objective of this migration method is to leave the original Cobol code absolutely untouched. The wrappers will manage the running of the compiled original Cobol code within the wrapper on the new platform. The wrappers will interface the old world with the new. We found the same kind of operational problems were exhibited in containerization solutions as we had found in emulation solutions. Particularly, the difficulty in finding staff with the required mix of old and new skill sets and the unique skill set to understand how the wrappers work and therefore to be able to enhance and maintain this very complex environment. One containerization method uses a Cobol compiler for the legacy Cobol that generates Java code, compiles the Java code, and encapsulates the compiled Java code inside the wrappers. But the generated Java code is totally incomprehensible. The actual code is in Cobol, but it runs as compiled quasi-Java. Just imagine trying to debug a production problem in this environment. Statement emulation. Statement emulation is where the Cobol code is converted to C# or Java, where the C# or Java statements invoke classes that emulate the original Cobol statements. This method of converting the Cobol code to C# or Java code produces a very fast and very effective way of generating the converted code, and it really does work. The converted applications run pretty much straight out of the box. The converted programs are truly written in C# or Java, but they are totally incomprehensible and completely incapable of being enhanced or maintained. For example, this is a small sample of Cobol code. This is the Cobol code converted to Java using normal Java statements. The Java code is very easy to understand, enhance, and maintain. It is normal Java code. This is statement emulation. This is the same Cobol code converted to Java, whereby the Java statements invoke classes that emulate the original Cobol statements. The converted program is written in Java, but the converted code is very difficult to understand and therefore very difficult to enhance and maintain. Component conversion. Component conversion is where the various components that were used to construct the mainframe application are converted to their Windows equivalents to construct the application on Windows. The migrated application is a true conversion, constructed to run on the customer's chosen platform using the customer's chosen component set. The new component set will comprise only the customer's chosen components. Screen mechanisms, such as ASPX web forms or Java server pages. Programming languages, such as Visual Cobol, C# or Java. JCL scripting, such as .bat, shell scripts, or Perl. And database, such as SQL Server, MySQL, Oracle, or UDB. Component conversion converts the mainframe Cobol programs to true Cobol, C# or Java coded programs that run natively on the new platform. The converted programs are only constructed as standard Cobol, C# or Java data and logic statements. Being constructed as standard coding statements, operating in a normal native mode on the new platform. The component converted applications provide an excellent foundation for maintenance and enhancement, an excellent foundation for operational performance, and an excellent foundation to take advantage of all the new features and functions of the new platform, the very definition of a truly agile system. So let's compare these four migration options. Individual circumstances can significantly affect which migration option may be the most appropriate for a particular migration project. But in general, we find the following conclusions when comparing these four migration options. We consider that platform emulation may be an appropriate option if the migrated applications are only to be used for a limited time, perhaps 2 to 3 years. But for the reasons already given, staff retention, staff recruitment, complexity of skill sets, difficulty in implementing operating system upgrades, and the difficulty in benefiting from the agility that could have been derived from the new platform. All of these conspire to make the viability of this option deteriorate very quickly beyond that time frame. But if platform emulation is the option of choice, then the best platform emulation solution by far is the enterprise server solution provided by Micro Focus. It is often referred to as lift and shift. We strongly consider containerization and statement emulation as options that should be avoided. These two options move the mainframe applications to Java or C#, but containerization keeps the core business logic in Cobol in very complex Java or C# wrappers. And statement emulation creates Java or C# code that is totally incomprehensible. We have great difficulty in seeing and understanding what benefits are derived from doing either of these two options. Systems that are difficult to enhance and maintain can never support an agile future. An agile system should be one of the major benefits to be derived from a platform migration effort. Component conversion projects create migrated applications that are specifically built to take the maximum beneficial advantages of the chosen platform. This is achieved by choosing the most appropriate components, including screens, programming languages, JSON, database, utilities, etc., for the new platform. The migrated application is a native implementation on the new platform. It provides for the efficient maintenance and enhancement of the new code set that can take full advantage of the many features and functions of the new platform. Component conversion delivers the migration strategy and migrated application structure that Unicon's extensive platform migration experience has shown to be of most benefit. The key elements to a Unicon platform migration project are: the migrated system must be a native implementation on the new platform. It must only require modern skill sets to enhance or maintain. It must be highly maintainable. It must be a low-risk project. The migrated application contains no emulation, no adapters, no proprietary middleware, no proprietary file handlers, no proprietary screen drivers, and no black box software. The migrated application is a true conversion to run on a customer's chosen platform using a customer's chosen component set. The new component set will comprise only the customer's chosen components. Our experience has strongly determined that component conversion is the best migration process to migrate Cobol applications off the mainframe platform. That determination is founded on our over 20 years of experience in performing and delivering component conversion migrations, and each project has further proven the validity of that determination. But why use Visual Cobol as the target programming language to migrate mission-critical applications from the IBM, Unisys, ICL, and Bull mainframe platforms? Why not use other Cobols, or C# or Java? Why is Visual Cobol the best choice to take the step into the new world? Most simply and most specifically stated, Visual Cobol bridges the gap between the application coding world of the old legacy mainframe platforms and the application coding world of the new Agile Cloud Windows platforms. Visual Cobol supports both the processes, functions, and features of the old world and the processes, functions, and features of the new world. It is fully backwards compatible to the Codicil ANSI 2 standard statements in the mainframe legacy Cobol, and fully integrated into the Microsoft .NET framework. For example, Visual Cobol supports the traditional Cobol data types, such as comp3, comp binary, sign included, picx, and the new .NET data types, such as int, double, string, and object. It can interface with the old world data files and at the same time interface with the new world data structures. It fully supports object code. It fully supports a web form presentation layer, including the code behind can be written in Visual Cobol. It supports ESQL data access, and it also fully supports ADO.NET database access. No other programming language, not another Cobol, not C#, and not Java, can offer this remarkable combination of abilities. This unique combination of old world and new world abilities bridges the gap between the old and the new world so well that it makes a platform migration project significantly easier to manage and perform, and consequently, it dramatically reduces the inherent risk that is otherwise so prevalent in performing a platform migration project. But whatever migration option is chosen, it is paramount that the solution is sustainable. A very important benefit of using component conversion is that it provides a very stable supply chain for the future support of the platform environment that supports the migrated applications. There are numerous examples of migration vendors that have a very checkered history and many terminated operations. Unfortunately, many of the current migration offerings are provided by small, undercapitalized companies, and many of them will not survive the test of time. It is critical not to become locked into a migration solution that can only be supported by one small vendor. Platform emulation, containerization, and statement emulation all require ongoing support from the migration vendor because of all the black box software that is contained in their deployment. Visual Cobol is from Micro Focus. The Windows operating system, Visual Studio, IIS, and the SQL Server database come from Microsoft. There are no ongoing requirements from Unicon. Once the migrated applications are operational, there is technically no reason to seek support from Unicon. All the converted application source code has been delivered as part of the project deliverables. There is no black box software to support. The core critical components of the Unicon migrated component conversion environment only require ongoing support from these two IT titans. I don't believe that I need to explain the viability of Microsoft as a stable vendor, but just for the record, their 2019 revenue was $125 billion. Micro Focus has been the market leader and provider of distributed Cobol development tooling for nearly 40 years. Their 2019 annual revenue was $3.3 billion. This provides an excellent and unequaled provenance for the continuing development and support of Visual Cobol. This high standing in the Cobol world has been derived through decades of proven success in providing outstanding innovation and modernization of Cobol. Visual Cobol is a .NET programming language, fully implemented into the .NET framework, exactly like C# and VB.NET. When C#, VB.NET, and Visual Cobol programs are compiled, they all produce the same CIL bytecode, Common Intermediate Language. All the CIL programs run under the same CLR, Common Language Runtime. That is why C#, VB.NET, and Visual Cobol are fully interoperable. But a successful migration project must convert all the components that were used on the mainframe platform to the customer's chosen Windows components. The typical set of chosen components for Windows is ASP.NET Web Form screens, Visual Cobol programs, .bat scripts for the JCL, sequential files, index files, and SQL Server tables. Other than the Cobol code, the two main components to be converted as screens and data. So how are these converted? So how can the screens be converted? Screen processing on the mainframe platforms begins by a screen that was rendered to a user terminal being sent by the user to the TP monitor. The TP monitor packages the message from the screen, calls the required program to service that message, usually via a transaction code, and passes the screen input message to the called program. The program performs the business logic to service the input message, packages the appropriate output message, and passes it to the TP monitor. The TP monitor packages the message and sends it to be displayed on the terminal. This is the same process for all the migration platforms. IBM, Unisys, ICL, Ball mainframes all follow the same process. And it is the same process that a Windows platform uses to process ASPX.NET web form screens. Windows IIS fundamentally works exactly the same as CICS, IMS, TIP, COMS, TPM, and TDS TPR. No emulation and no containerization is required. It can all be migrated as a normal Windows implementation. How are the files and databases converted? There are many different types of databases on the various mainframes. Each of these databases belongs to one of the three main types of database structures: network, hierarchical, and relational. They can all be successfully converted to a SQL Server relational database. And the various index file systems can also be converted to a SQL Server relational database. For further explanation on how the Unicon component conversion process works, and to see a working example of a converted program, please see our video called Example Demonstration on our YouTube channel called Platform Migration. This and other videos on the Unicon YouTube video channel that were referenced in this presentation can be accessed via the YouTube website or via the Unicon website as follows. To access the videos via the YouTube website, use a web browser to go to the website. Then search for Platform Migration. The search list should include the Unicon YouTube channel that is called Platform Migration. Clicking on the Unicon icon will then display the contents of the channel, which will display a list of the first group of videos. Clicking on the arrow icon on the right will display the next group of videos. Or clicking the Videos tab will display all the videos. A video can be played by clicking the icon of the one you want to see. This video is a slideshow presentation. To access the videos via the Unicon website, use a web browser to go to their website, which is called uctnet.com. Then hover over the Unicon tab and select YouTube videos from the drop-down menu. This will display the videos. Scan forward or backwards through the list of videos to select the one you wish to see. A video can be played by clicking the play button on the video you want to see. Welcome. This video is a slideshow presentation from the Unicon. Thank you for viewing this video. I hope it has been useful. If you would like to see any of the other Unicon informational videos, please contact us and tell us which subject or subjects you would like to see.